Welcome to the session on 24/9/2022. So let's quickly get into the newspaper. So guys, the first article is about Congress where they're talking about Sonia will pick my successor, not required. Coming soon, relief from fraud and spam calls. This is an important issue with respect to internal security because cyber security and terror funding is associated with that. Now, here, what is actually happening? We are all aware that we all get calls about OTPs and other aspects, and we need to be really careful about it. And it is estimated that, there is approximately 500 to 600 crores scam every month in few states alone. So that gives us, a lot of scope for government to take actions against them, and government is telling that now it's mandatory whenever someone calls us, whichever network they are from, Airtel, Geo, doesn't matter, but we must get the information about who is calling, and also that will be conscious about what is happening. So apart from that, guys, Supreme Court stays probe lessons by some writers not to be taught. High Court allows government, not required. Let's quickly get into editorial page. And in editorial page, we have the concept on geoeconomics, geopolitics and geoeconomics. So I would have suggested you not to read this article, mainly because, like you know, this is written by a professor and their focus will be completely different. But I'm explaining you this because a new term geoeconomics has come into picture, and people must understand what exactly they are talking about, because if one person use it, others also start using it in one form or the other form. Now let us see what are the two terms here, guys. One, they are talking about geopolitics. Now, what exactly do you understand by geopolitics, guys? If we look at it, see, geography of a region determines its politics. You have geopolitics on one side and you have geoeconomics on another side. Yes, what is geopolitics? Geopolitics today basically means some group of countries who has some importance, economically, politically, geographically, they come together. And remember, when we look at this geopolitics, I'll explain in a simple form. There is Nepal and there is, Sri Lanka. So when I say Nepal and Sri Lanka, if US people want to go to Nepal, then they need India. But if US people want to go to Sri Lanka, it's easy, they can go. US is not interested in Nepal much, but US is interested in Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka is an island and it is at the center of Indian Ocean. So if anything happens in Sri Lanka, US will interfere. So when elections are happening, any aspect is happening, US will come and interfere. This is called as geopolitics because geography of Nepal is making it irrelevant. Geography of Sri Lanka is making it more relevant. Now in the world, people are more focused about South China Sea and East China Sea. So because of South China Sea and East China Sea, China says South China Sea belongs to them, right? And at the same time, it says that most parts of East China Sea belongs to them. So when China is talking about South China Sea and East China Sea, we are all more worried about China capturing them. So against China, the world community, especially the countries, have established what we call as Quad, right? What we call as Quad. This in Quad you have US, India, Japan, Australia. Now these four countries are countering China and other countries, whichever is trying to support China. Now, on the other hand, Russia wants Ukraine because if Ukraine joins NATO, Russia will lose access to Black Sea. So, Russia and Ukraine is geopolitics, Quad is geopolitics, Shanghai Cooperation Organization is between China and Russia, where India and Pakistan are also there. That is another form of geopolitics. So wherever geopolitics is there, India is supporting SCO, India is supporting Quad, India is present everywhere. But there is something called as geoeconomics. Because geoeconomics means similar to Quad, similar to what we call as SCO, there is RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. There is IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Partnership. These all will be taught to you in the class. Now these organizations, they want to come together so that economically they can be powerful. India is willing to join geopolitics. India is willing to join different organizations militarily. But when it comes to economics, India is not willing to join. The reason for this is, guys, let us say we are talking about RCEP. In RCEP, you have ASEAN countries, you have Australia, you have New Zealand, you have China, Japan, South Korea. Now, why India is insisting not to join this? Very simple. You see, ASEAN is good in industries, guys. China is good in industry, Japan is good in industry, South Korea is good in industry. Australia and New Zealand are very good in agricultural products. Now you see, ASEAN, China, Japan, South Korea is asking India to open its market so that these countries can dump their products within India. But remember, industrially, India is not very well developed, and if I open my market to these countries, then Indian industries will not be able to compete. So India don't want to open up industry without our industries capable of competing globally. But India don't want to miss trade opportunities with them. So what India has done, India has made free trade agreements with most of the countries. Now what exactly is free trade agreement? When two countries agree that on some items there must be less tax or zero tax. Sir, when we are already agreeing on free trade agreement, what is the problem in joining these organizations? See, let me explain with clarity. Now let me say India and ASEAN, they both have free trade agreement. Now India will tell ASEAN, I will allow 50 goods from you to come. You allow me 50 goods because there are so many goods, but some goods of yours will harm my country's companies. So I don't want you to bring all the products into my country. So ASEAN and India will go for FTA. Now India and Japan will go for FTA, where India will tell you send 100 goods to me, I will send 100 goods to you. We'll go to Korea, and with Korea will tell, see Korea, you tell me, you send me some 75, like I'll send you 75. So can you see, with every country when I'm doing, the number of goods will keep on varying. Now RCEP together has agreed on 200 products. Now if India enters into RCEP, then India has to accept on 200 products. So from ASEAN 200 will come, from Japan 200 will come, Korea 200 will come, Australia 200 will come, and most importantly China also 200 will come. Now India doesn't have free trade agreement with China because we know they will dump all their products into India. So India, because of its own self-interest, we are not going. Second, India is telling, fine, I will compromise, but at least allow services to come. For that, these countries are not allowing. RCEP says goods must move from RCEP to India, but no services from India to RCEP. India is telling you should allow services so that I'll get some money. So this grouping, by joining, we don't have advantage. Remember, any country will act purely on the basis of its own advantage and not on anything else. Currency pressure. RBI will have to ensure price stability and prevent further rupee weakening. Guys, now whenever the rupee value is decreasing, in yesterday's article, I was telling you that whenever rupee buys, rupee buys dollar, rupee value decreases, correct? And whenever dollar buys rupee, rupee value increases, correct? Now what is happening? Rupee value is reducing. Yesterday I explained this. So now what RBI will do? RBI will tell, I want to increase rupee value. So what should I do? Okay, RBI has dollars with it. RBI has kept lot of dollars with it. RBI will sell dollars. When RBI will sell dollars, that means with dollars, RBI will purchase rupees. So what will happen? Rupee value increases. Let us say whenever rupee value is increasing, RBI will purchase dollars. So when rupee purchase dollars, rupee value decreases. So RBI monitors the dollar value and does certain aspects what helps us in selling and buying, guys. Aging regime, guys, it is about Iran's issue. It's a very, very important political issue today. The main reason for that is, like, women being protested, killed for not wearing hijab properly. You can see to what extreme it goes. There's a problem with religion taking over anywhere, guys. So, NIA has arrested PFI, right, and it has believed that there were certain links between them. Bihar CM RJD chief Nitish Lalu pair, Bombay High Court, uh, FIRs, ISI bagged a terror module. Not so important, guys. This is very important. Quad signs agreement for disaster relief and assistance. Yes, I just want you to write below quad in IR. I think in previous classes also we had discussed, but if not, if people are listening for the first time also, you can write quad, and it is group of India, US, Australia and Japan hyphen. Recently they signed an agreement. Recently they signed an agreement for for humanitarian assistance, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief and disaster relief. First, Quad was established. Quad was established mainly for mainly for free and open, free and open Indo-Pacific region, free and open Indo-Pacific region. But now it is extending. But now it is extending to other areas as well. Next, G4 countries highlight urgent need for reform in UN Security Council. So guys, what is G4 country? Germany, Brazil, Japan, India. So guys, in United Nations Security Council, there are 5 permanent members: US, Russia, China, France, UK. And these countries have veto power. That means they can say no to anything. Now, 4 countries in the world also want to be part of this, that is Germany, Brazil, Japan, and India. This group is called as G4 countries, and they are thinking that let some African country also participate. So, their plan is to ensure that G4 should be given permanent membership in United Nations Security Council. Now, this is extremely important for us, but there is a group of some 20 countries called as coffee club countries. They don't want G4 to get into UN Security Council permanent membership, but those countries are arguing that even that veto power must be actually reduced. So guys, these are some of the important issues in this. I want you to write down below. In international relations, United Nations, you write United Nations. Below that, G4 countries, G4 countries, hyphen, Germany, Brazil, Germany, Brazil, Japan and India, Germany, Brazil, Japan, and India want to become permanent members of permanent members of UN Security Council. UN Security Council. Full stop. They want representation from Africa. Next, a group of countries called Coffee Club, a group of countries called Coffee Club have come together have come together and they insist that veto powers must be completely removed. So yes, TN forest officials learn the language of elephants thanks to calf rescue missions. Read it, guys. It's interesting and it's good. Ambedkar tourist circuit only aids nationalistic view. So basically, we are planning to have Ambedkar tourist circuit where people can move to all the places which are significantly associated with Ambedkar. But some people who do not like anything, they say that, like, this is about nationalistic means love towards the country, and some people hate anyone developing love towards the country. So they have issues with that. So guys, 36 dead as Iran unrest continues. Thousands join pro-regime rallies. So you have a lot of things happening in Iran. Now some people are joining hands and telling, yes, hijab should be maintained and they should be killed. So you have all these things happening, guys. After the death, I want you to have in your notes about the Kurdish woman Mahsa Amini killed in Iran, because you will have to write about her in essay, ethics, some or the other places. So you just have a name of her. Kurdish woman Mahsa Amini was killed in Iran for not wearing hijab. So guys, Sensex Nifty fall, as I explained this what's happening because of rupee value. Industry urges duty remission revamp in FTP. We are waiting for new foreign trade policy, and once it comes, we will look into each one of these. Right? So people are asking to reduce taxes. That's common. So guys, these are some of the issues that are important today. Thank you.